We're almost there. It's almost done. But we're going to do one little thing before that has to do with modeling and UVs, but it'll be really easy and really simple. And I'm going to show you it right now. So I'm just going to grab this outside here, and I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go duplicate because I want the original to be there. And then I'm just going to go to object mode and select it, and I'm going to pull it down like so, and I'm going to turn this into a light shaft that's coming off of here. So I'm going to use geometry to do it. Let's go to the front view. Come on, Maya, work for me. There we go. Go to the front view, and we'll just drag it down a little bit. Go to the vertices, and I'm not sure if the physics of light will allow something like this to happen, like this to spread even further, but we're going to pretend that it does. And I'm going to come here, and I'm going to go like that, do that. Perspective, so we should have something kind of like that. And we all know what the UVs for this looks like, so I need to put on its own material though. So assign new material, be a blend. We'll make this, actually no, I want this to be a Lambert. Not that it matters because we're going to do this all in Sketch Fab anyway, but let's just keep it a Lambert. M_light shaft. There we go. All right, we're going to take this and we're going to hit Control D and duplicate it. The duplicate, let's center that pivot, and we'll flip it upside down like so. Come up here like that. We're going to go R, and let's just shrink it in the X and the Z. Like that. Okay, that looks cool. All right. So next, we need to get a unique texture for this. And this is super simple. We're just going to go and make a new texture. And I want it to be 72 deep is fine for resolution. And we'll make it, oh, what the heck. Let's just, you know what, let's make it smaller because I don't know what my limit is. I don't know where I'm at with my limit yet for Sketch Fab. So I don't have a professional account. So I'm going to make this smaller. We'll make it 512. Okay, so I'm going to use a PNG for this one. So I'm just going to go ahead and get my gradient out, and I'm going to pick, like, let's say an incandescent light color. I'm thinking like a you know what? Maybe I can get one from. Let's just do this. I'm gonna do like this orangish color here for right now. But what I was thinking is that if I go to photo filter and turn this on, and I turn the density up of this, it's giving me this warm filter color. So I can use something like that as my color, actually. And then just, I'm going to go ahead and turn that off now. This I'm going to hit Control I just to inverse it, this bottom background layer, just so I can see what I'm doing. Now I'm going to use the gradient just like I did before. I'm going to hold shift and drag downwards this time though from the top. I don't want to go all the way to the bottom. I'm going to go like a little bit before, something like that. So that should work. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide that. And this basically is going to be my light shaft. Now I may want to drop this down a little bit lighter. Let's say, let's just put it at like 60%, like that. And I'm going to save this out as a PNG, and I'm going to call this light shaft. So we'll call it fast lamp light shaft, something like that. This is an old trick. This is like an old game trick we used to do, and just wanted to, like, it still works. You know, you can still do it. It's not as cool as like the volumetric tricks that we have now, but it's still cool. It's cheap and fast. That's the benefit. So let's see here. I think we just need to drop it into color, and it'll bring the transparency in there for us. So do that. Something like that. There you go. Boy, that's saturated. Woo! That's a bit saturated. We might have to tweak that a little bit. I don't know why it's... I thought it'd be lighter than that, but whatever. I wonder if... what would happen if we drop that into the incandescent? Would that look interesting? Just do the same thing in the incandescent. Nah, not really. At least not in Maya. It might look cool in something else, but let's just right click here, break connection. So that's basically what we're looking to do, something like that. And I think we're ready to export now. Let me just make sure that I've got some names for this. I'm going to combine these two. Mesh, combine. We'll call this light shaft. And we'll make sure all this stuff is named correctly. So we'll call this shade. Just drag that out of there. This is let's see here. Anything else in here? Nope. So we can, looks like we can delete that group. So actually, if we take the shade and delete the history, that might delete the whole group. It did not. Oh, didn't like that. So that's a strange thing in Maya, that sometimes when you delete stuff, like, well, there we go. I just deleted the history, and this time it worked. I did the delete history before, I think, but it didn't delete that for some reason. Let's just grab everything. Make sure everything's good. We don't need the reference plane in this selection, so let's make sure we got everything. We'll call this, I'm just going to call this wires. And we'll call this, this is filament. And then this is bulb. Okay, that should be it. Select everything. We're going to want to export this out as an FBX. So export selection. I'm going to go FBX. And I think my preset's probably set up right. So I'm going to just, I'm going to guess that it's fine. As you may have just heard, there was a knock on the door, so I paused. Anyway, where were we? We were exporting, and we're going to call this fast lamp, like that. And where's it going? Scenes. Okay, that'll work. Okay, now remember, usually the best way to get this going is if you go ahead and you've got to go to your folder. Let's see if I got the right folder up here. We're close. We got to go to scenes. Let me grab that fast lamp. Hit Control X. I'm going to pull that out of there. Put it in my source images file. Holy moly, look at all these source images. There's tons of them. All right. So I'm going to hit Control V, paste that in, and let's do date modified. So that should have all of my latest stuff. Hopefully I'm not going over 30. Whoa, what is this? Filament color. Is that big? We're going to have to open that up. So that's a problem. I probably could still get the whole thing in there, but there's no reason for that texture to be that big. Where were we? That's bulbs. Let me go Control Open. We got to get that filament color open. There we go. Filament emissive, filament color. What's the size on this? This is tiny. Okay, so I made a mistake. I never made this smaller. So this is a really tiny thing. So actually, I could probably make this like a 256 by 256 texture would be fine. And I could just turn this on now. Oh gosh, come on Photoshop. Say okay, and then save that. And then I can go ahead and I can open up, oops, Control O for open, and open up that filament emissive to open, and then Control-Alt-I, and then 256 by 256. That's fine. That'll be plenty. Just hit save. Okay, so now that we got all those in there, we're going to grab all these and we're going to go right-click on it and say send to compressed zip folder. And we're not going to call it that. We're going to call it FastLab. FastLab. All right. Now we got that. Now, let's hope it works in our good old Sketch Fab. Sketch Fab. Why am I talking like this? I don't know. You know, I've been doing this tutorial all morning, and I just went and got a little bite to eat when my kid barged into my room. So now I'm feeling better. I think I needed to eat. So things are good. Okay. Let's browse. Now, my internet is not great, and also I will say that my wife is doing a WebEx right now, so who knows how long this is going to take. I don't even know where the heck I'm going here. I need to go to Maya. There we go. All right. So source images is where we were. And I hate it when it does it like this. I almost always use details, because then you can say like date modified and stuff like that, and so you can get that up there. Open and continue. Let's see if this works. Let's see how fast it works. I'll pause it just for yours. Okay, it finally finished. So here we are. Let's get to it. First thing, lighting. I think I'm going to turn the environment lighting off. Let's see what we can do here without it. Let's turn this on so we get some lights here. I'm going to grab this light. It's already kind of the right color, so let's make it a point light. And let's see here. We'll just slide that into the middle. That's actually in a pretty good spot. Kind of go out like that a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and make that a little bit brighter. Oh, look at that. That makes a difference, right? Already kind of looking interesting. And these two I think I'm going to leave alone for now. Maybe I'll play with those later. Let's get into the materials. That's what's going to make a big difference here. So the metalness is, I guess this all depends on what we're selecting. Let's select this. That would be metalness nothing. Let's make sure that it does have opacity already. Let's see if we can crank that back a little bit, like so. What if we do additive? That looks a little bit nicer, and then crank that back. Maybe something like that. Kind of interesting. Okay. We can play with that more later. Let's see here. So let's grab this. And did we actually get our bump to come in here? Let's see. It's going to be more rough, so we want the roughness. Let's turn that on. Go like that. And the bump did come in, indeed. Did it not? Let's see here. Yeah, the bump's in there. So what we can do is, let's just turn this down. I think the roughness might work for the bump, and the roughness might work well as the same thing. So let's just see if we can do that. No. Sometimes it works, and sometimes well, maybe if we turn it down. No. Let's just leave it the good old color here, color swatch. So none, like that, and we'll go like that. Okay, if I want to upload something later, I could, of course. And it looks like the emissive worked, though I don't like the color, so that would be something I might want to change. So might want to like make it a little bit more yellow colored. Let's see here. That's all lampshade stuff, and I think let's do this. We don't really want it to be specular. Yeah, we'll leave it there for now. Let's grab this. No. That's what I want. Okay, so that's the base color. The metalness should be 1. So it should be metal. And we'll make it rough. And we'll make the roughness. I actually have a roughness file for this. Choose texture. And there it is. And the bump map seems to be in there. There we go. Now it's looking right. Cool. That's what I want it to look like. Basically. Let's see if everything else good. We don't need an emissive for that. Not sure why that's on. And we'll just close those down. Actually, we can do a displacement here if we want to, because I do have a height map. So let's go to height. Whoa! That made it tiny. Ah! There, now it did it. That's a little bit too much. Let's turn it down. We can see now the actual, the profile is broken a little bit. So you can kind of mess with that. Sound effects are necessary, of course. And, yeah, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. We can leave it like that. I think that's interesting. And, you know, the anisotropic might actually be kind of nice too. Let's see here. I wonder if I pick the roughness texture, if that would allow. Let's see here. Might be interesting if I use that. Let me see, off, on, off, on. Yeah, I like it. I like it with it on. Cool. We'll leave that. We can just tone it down a little bit if we want. Let's see here. There was something else I wanted to. Oh yeah, ambient occlusion. Turn that on. Grab that too. We'll just leave it like that. I don't even really see it that much. Let's see. Yeah, it's pretty light. It's not showing up too much. But still, it's kind of cool. All right, let's grab a different metal. There we go. Now, I dropped this into the base color. It's actually not supposed to be for the base color. Oh, haha. I was rendering one of the videos out in the background. That's what that was. So we're going to take the color and we're going to change this to be something like that. And we can play with that later. And then the metalness is supposed to be 100%. And then this is going to be roughness. We want roughness, and that texture that I used as the color is actually the roughness texture. Let's see. There we go. And so that kind of looks cool. That's kind of looking interesting. Now, you can change the base color, and it will completely change what this thing looks like. So if I go like this, you know, I can turn this into like a different kind of looking metal, like more of a gold or something, or a bronze. So this isn't quite doing it for me yet. You know, part of the thing is I did turn off the environments. So if I turn the environment back on, oops, that's ground shadow. Actually, I do want that. Nah, no, I don't. If you do this, you're going to do the baked AO ground shadow. That's what you're going to do, like that. There you go. That looks cool. If I turn this back on, we'll start getting reflections on everything. See, now that metal looks different. That's why the metal was looking so dead, because we weren't getting any reflections from it. But now that I turn that back on, the metal all of a sudden spruces up. And, you know, you can try different things here. That's kind of dead too, but let's see here. That might be interesting. That's a little too much of a shadow. That might be interesting. It's got some cool highlights. But anyway, you can flip through these, figure out which one looks good. That one looks kind of good. Kind of like that. Okay. So, got all that stuff. What else can we do? Let's see if we can get this light bulb. Oh, wait. Haha, we're going to be in materials. There we go. Okay, light bulb. So now this one, we don't need the emissive on, but what we want on is the opacity. And let's try refractive material, and let's turn this down like so. Let's go from the top and look at it. Kind of interesting. It's a little thick looking right now. So what we can do is change the index of refraction. See how that looks a lot thinner. So the index of refraction is going to control that. Now you can start to see that other object inside of there. And let's just make sure that everything else is kind of where we need it. The glossiness, I would say, is this thing's going to be pretty glossy, right? It's glass, so it should be glossy. If we want a little extra, we might be able to get some clear coat in there. It might make it look a little bit more glossy, a little bit better. Clear coat's like if you have like a material that's kind of multi-layered, where you might have something that's kind of specular or like a metallic flake, and then you have like a clear lacquer coat on top of it. That's what clear coat really is. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Let's leave that one alone. And just make sure we don't have anything on that we don't need on. Yep, we're good. And then next, we will get that filament in there. Let's see here. We can just grab it from here. Let's do it that way. And so the filament, we can go roughness, and I'm going to make it 100% rough. And then I've got the emissive value in here. Now this is where we're going to crank this thing up. And let's see what it looks like from back here. Okay, now we're getting sort of what we want, but what we need to do also is go into post-process and turn on the bloom. Bam! Whoa, what happened? My brain. Now it's like crazy. It's like a little bit overblown. So we'll go ahead and take the intensity down. Like that. You can play with the radius, how far out does it go from its source. But here's where, so this lampshade is obviously too intense as far as the emissive goes. So you can do something like that. And I would probably spread out this thing too. I would like spread out the gradient on this, make it look a little bit better. Maybe even put some like kind of, I don't know, make the work the lampshade texture into it a little bit, so that way it looks more realistic, because right now it's kind of just like super smooth, and that doesn't really look super realistic. But anyway, yeah, this is about it. Like, this is how you could set something like this up. Like I said, there would be a few little tweaks I'd probably do, but you know, nothing like super huge. But yeah, it looks pretty good, I think. You know, you look at it and it kind of looks like something you could see in a game or a catalog or something like that. But it's fast. It's kind of a quick one, if you will. This right here, the shade itself. Let me see what happens if I turn off the glow, and then let's see if we can just, you know, you might want to make this. Let's do this. I was wondering how the dither might look. Yeah, it doesn't look great. They haven't quite gotten that one. The dither doesn't look amazing for everything. Blending looks okay. Mask will not look good. I knew that already. Additive looks pretty good though. So like if you want to just like lower it a little bit, you just kind of want like a hint of that light coming out, and you can do something like that. So that's pretty cool. All right, y'all. What do you think? Does that look all right? I'm going to say yes for now. Okay, let's go ahead and save our view. Maybe like that. Save view. And then we can just go ahead and save settings, and we're good to go. We can exit this. And there you go. All right, that's this tutorial. Thanks for watching. I hope it inspires you to do some cool stuff. Have a good one.